I'm Shamir, CEO and co-founder of Yofi. Yofi is a customer intentionality platform that helps retailers and brands fight return fraud, policy abuse, and just generally believe that the future of fraud is actually sitting in customer support. We're really excited about joining with NoFraud because the missions and values tie together perfectly. NoFraud with everything that they're doing with chargebacks and payments and thinking about everything pre-gateway and at the gateway. And what we believe at Yofi is that actually fraud is moving to post-checkout, right? So you think about warranty claims, returns, and basically any client complaint can potentially be fraud, and that's what we're seeing. And so by combining together, Yofi and NoFraud are able to provide a holistic 360 client protection. But I think more generally, we have the same vision in the notion is that CX is the future of retail. How do we give a better consumer experience? How do we make people feel like they're in Home Depot or REI, but doing it digitally? How do we power the teams that are actually leading this transformation, whether it's an AI-based CX or a human-based CX? We ultimately believe, how do we push this value across the board? I think the biggest benefit for our mutual clients right away is that you're gonna get everything integrated. Payment fraud to return fraud to claims, everything built into one total solution. And one of the things we talked about a lot with our clients is they're tired of jumping through different tools. They're tired of jumping through their e-commerce platform, their return management, their fraud platform. And to be able to consolidate that all into one insight and having the models actually playing together to give a holistic client score that's not only just sitting within the Yofi and NoFraud platform, but actually sitting within your customer support tool, automatically changing the things that you're doing within your warehouse and in return management to be able to actually live where you are living from our consumers' perspective. So we're adding a ton more value, a way bigger network and consortium for your team in the tool that your teams are actually using. Where I see us heading in the next year is actually just accelerating some of the vision that we've already talked about. We believe that the future of retail and commerce is actually sitting in customer support and consumer experience. So one, how do we empower these 6 teams, right? So one, putting the risk and fraud scoring directly in there, but I think which is more importantly is thinking about the word as intentionality. I don't like using the F word as in fraud, but thinking about intentionality. How do we start, one, delivering better experience for good actors? How do we start adding friction for bad actors? So taking these hard-coded flows of everyone gets free returns or everyone pays for returns and adding personalization and dynamicism to it. So I think that's one, but more importantly, taking the really unique data that we're generating, so whether it's from operations or the warehouse or from customer support, and actually turning personalization as coming instead of from top down, from marketing to the bottom of the organization, but actually taking all the information we have and actually building it bottom up to actually lead personalization with all the unique insights that we're getting from the orders, from returns, from customer support interactions. So actually taking CX and actually making them a growth driver to the business, not just from a revenue perspective or an experience perspective, but just how is the business operating from a data perspective. I think one of the things we're most excited about is actually through combining this data, we think about like what are the pain points that both of our clients have had. Hey, how do we break down data silos between customer support, between orders, between the warehouse? How do we start actually eliminating some of the jumping between different tools? And I think the thing that we're most excited about is like, we are going to integrate into your data. Doesn't matter how complicated it is, we'll be able to take it, normalize it, make it useful, and actually put it into the tools that you're using to use. And like a big mission that we always think about is like, we can't be a vendor, we have to be a partner. So how do we push our clients? How do we provide the playbooks? How do we make sure that we're increasing the ROI and the benefit for our clients on a daily basis? And I think that's the thing that made us most excited about joining from a NoFraud and Yofi perspective is we both have that shared value of how do we push our clients? How do we become a partner? How do we see these businesses continue to succeed in an even more increasingly complicated time?